Here's the play where LeBron got hurt, and of course we're paying attention to his right ankle and actually his right knee a little bit. But as you see here, he plants with that right ankle, and then as the Hawks player kind of comes in and hits him from the side, of course, number one, we're going to call this a valgus force because it's a force that's pushing his knee inward. And then when that happens, it's going to put some stress on his knee, which we'll talk about in a minute. But number one causes this primarily eversion mechanism of an injury to his right ankle. This is an example of an eversion ankle sprain compared to the classic inversion ankle sprain that we see much more commonly, so this is definitely a unique situation. With an eversion ankle sprain, that inner portion of the ankle and the foot are going to come down towards the ground, as opposed to with an inversion, it's going to be the outer portion of the ankle that's going to get stressed. The other thing to watch here too with LeBron's ankle is it does look like there's a little bit of external rotation of his foot. If we look at the alignment of his tibia, his lower leg, it's kind of pointed straight at us, and then his right foot is pointed off to the side. So that's going to be that external rotation, which can have more implications for something known as a high ankle sprain. Now, I mentioned the knee because as we go through this whole sequence, remember that defender came in and the first contact was that valgus load onto LeBron's knee. This type of an injury can certainly also injure the MCL, which is going to be that ligament that sits here on the inside of the knee. As that player comes in and pushes LeBron's knee inward, that's going to pull and stress that MCL, causing potential injury. So for the ankle, it's primarily an eversion mechanism, atypical from the classic inversion, but there's also a little bit of an external rotation component that makes me worried about a possible high ankle sprain. Let's look at our biodigital anatomy tool here next. And so the first ligaments I'm going to show are the classic lateral ankle sprain ligaments. Those are these guys that are going to sit here on the outside portion of the ankle. Those aren't the ones we're worried about this time. For the ones we're concerned on, we have to go to the inside of the ankle to a ligament complex known as the deltoid ligament complex. This is a much broader kind of fanning out section of ligaments that again are going to run on the inside of the ankle as opposed to the outside of the ankle. So these ligaments can be stretched in this position, but then we also, because of that external rotation, have to think about this guy right here. That's that AITFL, the high ankle sprain ligament, that's more injured whenever you get this external rotation component of the foot. Essentially, when the foot externally rotates, it causes the talus to move, and if your talus is surrounded by that tibia and fibula, when the talus rotates, it pushes those apart, which is going to stress that AITFL or high ankle sprain ligament. Let's play that through one more time now that we've looked at our anatomy. So the right ankle that we're focusing on here, valgus load that comes in, puts a little bit of stress on the knee, starts to put some load on the ankle. That ankle is going to evert, so meaning the inside portion is going to come down closer to the court. There's also going to be that external rotation, which can stress that high ankle sprain ligament. And so those are the things that we really have to worry about here. His return ultimately will depend on, of course, how bad the ligament damage is, but then also if there is in fact injury to that MCL in the knee, and then if this is more of a high ankle sprain as opposed to just the traditional lower ankle.